assessment of the state of the negotiation.
Why it is our diocesan patron feast day is because the Cathedral of Our Lady of the Assumption is dedicated.
Do not have it in their mindset or in their psyche that we are playing against Algeria.
Media fraternity mourns the demise of veteran broadcaster Alhaji Sajo Barrow. President Adama Barrow's political advisor warns of negative effects of turning Gambia into a secular state. Tens of thousands of people continue to protest against the recent ratified Citizenship Amendment Act in India. These and more coming on the world today. It is 1700 GMT here in our studios in Banjul. You are watching The World Today, and I am Amadou Kante, and now the news in detail. First, we begin with a press release from State House on public holiday announcement. As Christians in the Gambia joins the rest of the world to celebrate Christmas, President Barrow declares 2 days of public holiday. Below is the full text of the release. The public is hereby informed that the President of the Republic, His Excellency, Mr. Adama Barrow, acting under Section 76 of the 1997 Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, is pleased to declare Wednesday and Thursday, 25th and 26th December 2019, respectively, as public holidays throughout the Gambia in observance of Christmas. On behalf of the Force family and the government of the Gambia, the President wishes everyone, in particular the Christians community, a Merry Christmas. From that press release from State House, we move on to a very sad story, as the Gambia media fraternity in the country is since the passing of famous news broadcaster Alhaji Sajo Barrow on Sunday gripped with somber mood. Barrow, who died at the age of 65, was laid to rest on Monday in a procession of thousands of mourners from diverse backgrounds, including the media and the civil service. Early December, news of the death went viral on social media, but that was proven wrong until Sunday evening. He died after a brief illness. Let's have more in this report.
Bari man lafi nyun ke nyun kumo fo drong prale bulo koside president yafo West Coast Nkoli.
Veteran broadcaster Alhaji Sajo Barrow has been laid to exactly 2 days before his 66th birthday. He died following a brief illness, says family sources. Thousands of mourners from diverse backgrounds, including media and the civil service, joined the procession in which his coffin was held above heads to his final home on earth. Speaking at the funeral convergence, Minister of Information and Communication Infrastructure, Ibrahim Asila described the demise of Barrow as a loss for GRTS and for the country. He said Sadio was one of those who instituted the local language broadcasting training in the history of media in the country.
Sadio Barrow, the late Mansour Njai, the late Lalo Samate, Jena Banyang, and the rest were the ones who were training us in local language broadcasting, but also English language broadcasting, especially news reading. So we are extremely very grateful to Alhaji Sadio Barrow, a doyen, a committed person, somebody who actually gave everything to the Gambia, a consummate Gambian who loved this country so much, who loved his profession, and he did his, he performed his job with integrity, with professionalism, with honesty and love for the country. And I think the younger generation have a lot to learn from this. You will never stand tall in your profession when you are not professional, when you don't have integrity, when you are engaged in this issue of dividing people using your profession. I think, we should all learn a thing or two from Alhaji Sadio.
The late Barrow is remembered in one aspect for his popular program, The Jamano, that sum up weekly national and global stories on the Gambia Radio and Television Services GRTS. He has since retirement initiated a daily news review program on Star FM radio. He created passion in breaking down complex English language into Mandinka tongue for audiences across the country. For the Director General of the Gambia Radio and Television Services, it was a sad day for his institution.
Sadio la do ko kay faraman sata bake Gambia be yalu han Gambia banta mo jamale Sadio lo nte fala mo kendeya nala banku kano tolni ko yata bake jiates bele ni ko yata bawon te kay Sadio lo mbake la manke biti na meta do ko la many years fo bi anata futata bila wakata nyusunu bati ala do ko kendo mi ngake banko kamba jayila la mbedwa la ifana.
Born on 26 December 1953 in Central River Region, village of Nyamina Kudang, Sadio Barrow survived over 3 decades of experience in the field of journalism, through which he was known as one of the country's most talented broadcasters. Reporting for Africa News, I am Amadou Kante.
From that sad story there on the demise of Alhaji Sadio Barrow, we continue to pray for his soul to rest in peace. Now to UN matters, because United Nations spokesperson Stephen Dujarric have said that the Secretary General continues to stress the need for an independent and impartial investigation into the murder of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi to ensure full examination and accountability for human rights violations committed in the case. Speaking in New York, Mr. Dujarric said they have taken note of the reports that 8 people have been convicted and sentenced over Khashoggi's murder in the courts in Riyadh. Let's take a listen to him.
We take note of the reports of today's that 8 people have been convicted and sentenced over the murder of Jamal Khashoggi in the court in Riyadh. The Secretary General continues to stress the need for an independent and impartial investigation into the murder to ensure full examination of and accountability for human rights violations committed in the case. The Secretary General also reiterates the UN's commitment to ensuring freedom of expression and protection of journalists, as well as our long-standing opposition to the death penalty.
UN Secretary General spokesperson speaking there. Next, we talk secular or secularism, because in a false public statement of a senior government official, the political advisor to President Adama Barrow has warned the negative effects of turning Gambia into a secular state. Siaka Jatta, who took part in the constitutional consultation organized by concerned citizens over the weekend, said his stance was purely personal and not that of the office of the president. As the Gambia is working on to getting a new constitution, he posited that the inclusion of foreign laws could cause the rejection of the book during the referendum. Juldin Jai has more details in this report.
President Adama Barrow's political advisor Siaka Jatta has identified himself among the campaigners against the definition of Gambia as a secular state in the new constitution. He was speaking on Sunday during a conference of Islamic religious and traditional leaders organized by concerned citizens on Gambia's draft constitution held at Q City. In what he called a defense of religion, Siaka challenged the idea for destruction of houses of worship from public places across the country.
Debe molu kono me yala benna dino le fasala. Nde son na nasembo benna jaman kilinta boy la fo ngalo ngakafo. Nde jaman boy ndela.
I am part of those who will defend the Islamic religion. If I have the power, we will not demolish even one mosque, except if we add more, and we will not offend any religion, because it is religion that makes a person and that disciplines a person. It makes a person to be humble. It also makes a person what he will become tomorrow.
Yo, mantra diam kam mansa tola de. Mbe diam kam fang sondo molla ani me munna mira loti.
His comments came on the heels of debate as to whether secularism should define the Gambia or not in build-up to the next constitution to replace that of the 1997 tailored by the government of ex-president Yahya Jammeh. Mr. Jatta is first senior government official to make a public stance on the issue since the beginning of the consultation on the draft constitution by the Constitutional Review Commission. Earlier in December, former Minister of Agriculture and then leader of the PPP, Omar Amadou Jallow, proposed to the Constitutional Review Commission to illegalize the construction of mosques in public places. However, the presidential advisor begged to differ on principles that religion is the system of human civility.
Nabita referendum moto. Fewo fe nabe na dinol tinyala. Aben na dinol kafiriyandi lam blokono.
When it is taken for referendum, anything that will destroy our religions, make our children disbelievers and bring issues that we don't want, whether religion or culture, we should all stand to tell people not to vote it. If what we want is all available in the constitution, we can vote for yes. But if they are not there, we can vote for no.
Imam Fati kwenye vote no. Ndebe mola bulala mola kono membe campaign la ngafo kono. Sako Dr. Jamal men bebe sirin koma. Nga Dr. Jamal to moja.
Jatta, who clarified that he was speaking on personal opinion and not that of the presidency, encouraged Gambians to vote against any provision that will destroy religious and cultural norms of the country. For iAfrica News, I am Julden Jai.
From that report they are filed in by Julden Jai, we will now take a break and come back shortly with the remaining of our stories. Stay with us. Welcome back. You are watching The World Today on iAfrica TV. Now to the rest of our stories. Of course, in Nigeria, Global Ride launched a pilot boat service in the commercial capital Lagos to offer commuters good option to daily road traffic jams. Lagos said to be the highest car densities in the world, with about 200 cars for every kilometers causing traffic congestion. The boat service manages to beat the normal transport fare by 50% with the aim to provide commuters with easy and affordable means to go and from workplaces. Let's have more details in this report.
If there's one thing Lagos is notorious for, it is traffic jam. One research shows residents spend an estimated 6 hours in traffic commuting around the city every day. But with the city's improving ferry service, more residents are now trying out the waterways, which cut commuting time by about 90%, and Sandra is one of them.
The ferry does it fast, yeah, because I spend barely 30 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes getting to work on the island. But if I'm going to take the bus, I spend close to 3 to 4 hours, depending on the time I leave my house. The ferry is very seamless. I mean, boarding, very seamless. It's very convenient for me, it's quicker for me, and stress-free really, basically.
The improved ferry service in the city is thanks in part to Lagos Water Taxi, or WAXI for short, run by a local firm, Hallow Waters. CEO Andrew Olanna says his initial plan was to operate large vessels that would carry petroleum product, but had to change his mind because of the financial constraints and the opportunity he saw in water transportation.
When we started in 2018, March, the ridership was about 2,000 passengers daily, in, out, 2,000 out of Ikorodu and then 2,000 into Ikorodu. Now the figure has grown to about 3,005 daily, each way. Unfortunately, with the limited resources that we have, we're only able to capture less than 10% of that market, while the substandard boats are still the one operating a sizable portion of the market.
In a city of about 20 million people, only around 700,000 residents commute by waterways, leaving the rest to make use of the roads. And with no railway system in place, it's only natural that the roads would be congested. Experts say water transportation is the way to go to help address the city's traffic chaos.
It puzzles us when we hear things like the government has gone to buy BRT buses and they're doing this and they're doing that. You know, you're congesting the road more by putting 800 buses on the road. Now you're saying that the infrastructure is poor, the roads are collapsing and all of that, and you're buying 800 more buses and putting on the same road. If you put 800 boats on the water, it's not going to weigh the water down. It's a service that needs to be provided, but private sector is waiting to take over that business.
Despite the WAXI initiative, investment in the city's water transportation is still very low, and there's also the issue of safety concerns by commuters.
A lot of us are not wonderful swimmers, and this is what we're talking about. So really, yes, people are scared of using the water because they don't feel safe. Nothing is guaranteed, but I mean, just the feeling of being safe will enable someone decide to try out a new means of transportation. Example, the water. So users are not safe yet, you know. So if we can work on safety, if we can really work on safety, it will go a long way to, you know, encourage users to ply the waterways.
WAXI is setting the trend in safety, and it is the reason why more and more people are now getting attracted to the waterways. But Lagos water transportation is still far from the ideal. It requires much more investment than it is getting at the moment. And until that happens, the road would continue to remain the preferred means of transportation. And that can only mean one thing: more traffic nightmares in a city reeling from congestion.
From that transport report there in Nigeria, now to India. Tens of thousands of people gathered in Bangalore on Monday to protest against the recently ratified Citizenship Amendment Act. As you can see in this footage showing thousands of people gathering at Bangalore's Hudu Sahib Al-Qida grounds. Let's take a listen to one of the protesters, what he have to say.
Today I am here to protest against the CAB bill. That actually this is the first time in the history of India somebody is giving the citizenship and actually linking it with the religion. India was supposed to be a secular, without any religion, people were supposed to get the citizenship. But this is the first time the government is trying to portray the citizenship and linking it with the religion. India have around 14% on paper, or maybe 15-16% of the people who belong to a particular religion, say Islam, and they are constantly under fear. So if they are in fear, what the government is doing is they are continuously sending towards a corner where they feel even more depressed, even more, frustrated.
That's Mohammed Salman Khan, one of the protesters speaking there. Demonstrations have been taking place over the past 10 days over the bill entitling non-Muslim migrants from Afghanistan, Bangladesh and Pakistan to Indian citizenship if they enter the country before 2015. Critics of the bill believe that it could result in further authorization of some 200 million Muslims living in the country. Now to Ethiopia, where Ethiopia has launched its first satellite into space on Friday to help the South African look upwards in its development agenda. The satellite is to be used for agricultural, climate, mining and environmental observations, allowing the Horn of Africa to collect data and improve its ability to plan for changing weather patterns. The remote sensing satellites will operate from space around 700 kilometers above the surface of Earth. Let's have more details with this report.
Simply a once-in-a-lifetime historic moment for Ethiopians. The first ETRSS-1 remote sensing satellite is now in orbit. It is from here, China's Taiwan Satellite Launching Center, that Ethiopia has managed to send one of its own to orbit. The Ethiopian delegation has witnessed the overwhelming moment.
I don't know if there is enough words to express my feeling. The only thing I can say is that when I saw our satellite going up, I was in tears.
Back home, millions have watched the launching on TV, and at the Addis Ababa and Toto Observatory Center, many have gathered for a special celebration. This has given hope for rapid growth in space science in Ethiopia.
The most important thing is that this is the first chapter in the space science technology for Ethiopia. I think it also symbolizes the significant partnership Ethiopia enjoys with China.
Right after the launch, Ethiopia's Space Science Institute said ETRSS-1 has already started delivering footages and data as intended.
The control station of Ndoto is shown the first image, and starting from now, then we'll proceed to use the application for the end users of the satellite.
ETRSS-1, the most important and first Ethiopian satellite, has been launched through the collaborative work of Chinese and Ethiopian engineers. China has also allowed its most famous launching center to complete this job.
Yes, some interesting stuff there in Ethiopia after launching a satellite that helps the country on some developmental programs. That's just good. Well, of course, viewers, that's all we have for you on the world today. But of course, you can just log on our website and for more on these stories on www.africa.tv. Once again, I am Amadou Kante, and bye for now.